Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you the Nintendo Switch's #1 worst flaw and how to fix it. Now, after owning the Switch a couple years and playing it, I definitely can tell you that the dock is not good for cooling. After playing Fortnite for about an hour, the graphics don't render that well. I'll try and show you an example. And the reason being is that the Switch is having a hard time cooling, so the processor actually slows down the rendering to stop itself from melting. And that's why it overheats. Also, when I open up the back of the Switch dock, you can see there's only one port. And that one port is giving the Switch back cooling when there's two ports. See if I can show you it with the bad rendering. This is what I'm talking about. The rendering is getting really bad because it's heating up. Sometimes you can't even use your pistol or do anything. Look for USB 5 volt. That's what the Switch dock outputs. Brushless fan, you can get regular, but I got LED to make mine super cool. Alright, I wanted to see it working. And I'm not too sure because the Switch is on right now. And it's supposed to shut off after 30 seconds. It's been 30 seconds and it didn't shut off according to Google. So I'm going to take off the Switch. And usually if it's updating, that's why the fan would be on or the 5 volts output power. But for some reason it's just staying on. So it makes it an inconvenience to have to unplug the fan or unplug the Switch dock every time. But I mean, if you want to do this mod where you got this cooling fan and you can run games better, I think to unplug the box when the Switch is fully charged is not the worst thing in the world. As you can see, it's just the fan off, so just make sure you charge your Switch all the way and then unplug your box. That's the best way to run my mod. This is the side that blows the air, so this will be directed towards the Switch back. This also had a sticker on it, but I took it off and it looks way cooler as it spins, and you can see the LED lights through the back casing instead of just seeing a sticker. So first off, there's a couple screws in here. You can take this back plate off, get to the main motherboard. Simply just gotta pry up on this little tab. This flap comes up, then you can just pull on the ribbon cable and it should come undone. Try and pull from here and here, slowly and surely, should come out. And there's a couple more screws on the bottom half, and you can take this off. Just be careful for that ribbon. Now, I've already trimmed mine. This goes from here to here, but like I said, for my build, I trimmed mine, sanded the edges flat, and that's just for what I'm building, the dimensions to make it fit, but this is what connects your Switch to the TV. Be careful with that ribbon. Firstly, I'll be using this piece. Just going to be cutting a straight line from here all the way up. That way we can use this bottom piece as like a little dock. You'll see what I mean. So here's the first cut. Make sure you don't mess up that faceplate. I can sand it, make it look smooth again. I got some of the teeth marks from the saw blade. Just keep a nice vacuum handy. Keep your workstation clean. Now this is what I ended up with, and I wanted to take a couple seconds to show the people that actually are doing this, so they're not like, hey, you just did it and didn't show me. So this is the back of the area, and there was a little stub there, so I trimmed it out so that it's a completely hollow track, like the shape of that square. Before it had that little, you could see a little bit of residue. The reason being is also over here on the sides, you want to make it so that it's just a wall with no barriers touching, so that you can take this piece and interlock it. It went in there nice and almost made like a clicking sound when it entered. And the reason why I did that is so that the bottom of that is flush with the bottom of that, and now it all sits nice and flush. Nintendo on the front, we're going to cut that out to make it the exact same size from the floor up to these stubs. No measuring tape required, just get the Nintendo to be about in the center of the bottom of this plastic square piece, so that you can, it's about center there. You can, with a Sharpie, make a mark on both ends, both sides, and that way it'll cut out to be exactly the same size as that base. Sort of like that. Now just make sure you take your time and make very straight lines when you cut it with the saw. Like such. Just try and do your best. A little sloppy, but hey, it looks straight enough. Got the device. We're going to put some tape to make this ribbon cable sit flush. And then if we add this on the front, that's how it's going to sit. You can leave those stubs there to help it stay up, and then glue it right there. Now we just need to measure from the base to about there and then cut it flush. Working on this piece, you're going to want to go ahead and cut off right here by this hinge, small square section. Also, once you've taken this, added some tape to make it go backwards, you can undo this 45-degree fold, and then we're going to have it go up. And since we cut that notch, the ribbon cable can sit there while we put this piece on. Like such. And we're going to go ahead, fold it again, and right there we can go ahead and connect the connector into the board and put it in. Nice, I got it in. First I just connected the cable, and then you can just put the motherboard, and then the ribbon cable will follow after. Then you just can compress it, since we're going to put a deck to cover all that. The build is coming along, we're getting there. Also, since this is empty, and how these say HDMI USB AC adapter, I want over here to say USB, and that's simple. We're just going to take off of this piece that says it right there. We're going to cut the plastic panel from here to the corner, and then we can glue it down in there, and I'll make the rest of the build look clean. like so. You could use super glue on the plastic housing if you want to secure it. Since there's no screws, make sure you put a couple globs of hot glue in the corners to hold it down and secure it. Just want to be careful with the cable. We want to make it into a circular shape for what we're doing next. Now I've taken a small wine bottle and I've cut the neck of it to where I can mount the fan right in there. Also cut the bottom part to where they can both taper and meet. You can see it looks like the top of a pipe. Here's the body of the wine bottle. I'm gonna shut it to make a cylinder and then put it on there like such. Now I'm going for a clear warp pipe, kind of like in Wii U 3D Mario.
Oh, what? Oh. Oh.
After some consideration, I wanted it to be slim, only this wide. But then seeing how much cool Mario toys I have that I can add on to it, I figured why not just use the faceplate as a base, and it sits perfectly flush. Sits nicely. Then I can have all my items on there propped up. Here's an example. And then the fan is going to be in the center. How cool does that look compared to the original Switch dock? And it's going to be cooled. Also, my Mario Kart Live can plug right into here. Now we are going to be able to have the stock light charge indicator. Also, we took the sticker off of the fan off the back and put it on here so we know what we have. But like I was saying, that wire for that charge indicator light is not long enough to reach. It goes back there behind that cable, ribbon cable, and from here it doesn't reach. So what we're going to do is, this cable is actually way too long, so we're just going to cut this because we need to cut a hole in the tube for the wire to come out of the hole and into the dock base. With some of the extra wire, we can extend the length of this wire so that we can plug it all in and make it work. So you need a soldering iron. It's coming together. You can see the warp pipe. It's all clear. I gotta make a hole in the center as the support stand. I'm gonna make it out of a pen. Just cut about here on the pen, make a hole, insert it, and then I'm going to put the wiring through the pen cap so it looks more clean. Now that we took this piece of the pen cap, just take the pin, put it to where it would shut, and we're going to cut about here. Do it on a paper towel so you don't make a mess. Got a bit done since the last time you saw. For all the holes, I just use a soldering iron. Get it really hot. You gotta poke a hole right here on the side so that you can run this cable through. Then we're gonna attach the USB end, just a small amount, so that we can turn it and connect it into the USB port. Also take some of this wire, cut it, and then we're gonna solder all the wires together, but get these two charger indicator light wires to run farther so we can run it all together and plug it all together. Lo and behold, we've reached the end of the video. These are all the parts that I'm going to throw away except for the back of the dock if I want to put it back later on. This is the end result. Check it out. I think it came out super cool. Gives almost like a little statue, Mario themed clear warp pipe. I think it came out awesome. Got my Mario Kart Live connected to it on one of the USBs. And then this is my Pokemon Pro controller. I'll do a review on this on my channel. It's new to me, but it's great. Love it. Let's go ahead and do the moment of truth and turn it on. Hey, there we are. Can't just end the video there. Definitely gotta play for an hour and see if it still renders bad. I'll show you soon. Not a single problem. Been playing for a while now. Everything boots up a lot quicker. And I went over and touched the back of the switch and it's cold to the touch. So it's great. Thanks for watching.